100 strong. What's that word, family? Hey, man, check this out.
Hey, fool, you a goofy, gang. I don't know why you always on my stuff. You really a fan. This nigga Members Only podcast. You want some clout, gang? Ain't you supposed to be one of the guys?
Pressure. I apply the pressure. Pressure. I apply the pressure. Pressure. I apply the pressure. Yeah, pressure. I apply the pressure.
A string of armored truck robberies across Chicagoland today is keeping the FBI busy.
But the heists weren't so successful thanks to quick thinking by law enforcement.
9:35 a.m. This was a scene at Pete's Fresh Market along Sibley Boulevard in Cal City. The driver of a Brinks armored truck robbed at gunpoint. The thieves last seen driving westbound in a silver Infiniti Q50 with tinted windows toward the Bishop Ford.
And once he went outside, they jumped him.
Then around 12 noon, a Loomis armored driver robbed seconds after leaving this Gordon Foods along 173rd and Lansing. The thieves all wearing masks, taking off with an unknown large sum of cash.
It was like 4 guys, and one held them down. The other one, they just was beating them real bad. And then they grabbed the money and then they ran off.
Finally, 1:20 p.m., a Brinks driver robbed here along 31st Street in Bridgeport.
Unison 677 in Green, they have a person who robbed the Brinks truck at gunpoint. They stole about $400,000.
The driver was heading into this Chex Cash location when confronted by 2 men, according to police. He too was held at gunpoint. Today's 3-armed robbery stretching from the city to the suburbs follows similar incidents last month in Orland Park and Calumet City. The thieves still unidentified. Former FBI Special Agent Ross Rice saying it's a growing trend of brazen crime with the drivers traveling alone. Now, police have told us that shortly after that Bridgeport incident, they were able to apprehend suspects that they believe are connected to that crime, but it's unclear just yet if those suspects are connected to all of the cases.
So, folks, what they trying to do is they trying to see if these crimes are connected together. So what we finna do here is we finna look at these crimes ourselves and see if they make a little bit of sense. If they don't make sense, then they don't make sense. Whatever. I'm not a police officer or investigator. I'm just gonna try to use what the internet give me to put some shit together. Now check this out. We got 3 armored cars that was robbed, man. 2 of them was in the suburbs. 1 of them was in the city. The motherfucker in the city ended up getting caught, man. And when they got caught, they had 400,000, man. They almost got away with 400,000, but they did that shit inside of Chicago and it didn't work out for them. So let's just have a look at it a little bit. All right, so at 9:45, Calumet City was robbed. At 12 p.m., Lansing, Illinois was robbed. And at 1:20 p.m., 31st Street in Chicago was robbed. All right, so the guys on 31st, we already established that they got caught, man. You know, them niggas couldn't get away quick enough because Chicago PD is really actually everywhere. If they really want to be in these high crime neighborhoods, they could be out there and solve crimes just as quick, which 31st is one of those neighborhoods, but it's down there. It's getting closer to downtown. There's white people walking around down there and shit. So that's what's going on. That's what I feel going on. We don't know how much money the other 2 guys got away with because they actually got away with the shit. Now they trying to say, is these robberies connected? Now me being me, I'm gonna say, yeah, they connected, man. These motherfuckers is connected. It's a gang of niggas though. It ain't just 2 niggas going from spot to spot. Now when you say 9:45 and 12 p.m., I can understand why you would think that these could be the same guys. They just going out the Brinks truck. They see one, they own it. But what about the cars, man? What they got? 4 or 5 cars lined up? So we gonna rob the truck in this car, switch off to another car, something like that. It'll have to be like that because you don't want to be caught riding around with the money from the last robbery or in the same vehicle that you did the last robbery in because they looking for that motherfucker. So we really could put those 2 together and say maybe it's the same 2 guys. But the one at 1:20 p.m. and the earlier one was at 12, it's like they drove from Lansing and then drove to Chicago and just robbed another truck. Everything would have been on them, all the money, everything. Which not saying niggas ain't stupid enough to do something like that. Niggas really ain't that smart. But I don't think they was that stupid to do that. But who knows? Maybe that's why they had 400,000 on them because they robbed the truck from earlier. That sounds like a lot of money to be coming up off a Brink's truck, man. But it's Chicago. They probably going to a bank after they go to the grocery store. But that's the reason why I definitely think this might be a gang, man. It might be some niggas that did it and said, you know what, we're going to pull everybody in. And if we got the city going crazy, it's a better chance that we can get away. They called it a foil heist in the newscast. But let me tell you this, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, goddammit. I don't call that a losing season. 2 out of 3, because guess what the other 2 can do? If they working together, if this really is a gang, which I'm thinking it is, if they working together, the other guys and the proceeds from the other robbery or the other 2 robberies could bond those guys out. And they can still have a little change, because remember they had $400,000. So if any chance them other cats got anywhere near $400,000, yeah, man, we bonded our homies out so they won't tell and none of that. And we're going to all live and eat happily ever after. We're going to set them down and continue the robbery gang. Because last month, 2 armored trucks was robbed, bro. Last month, 2 armored trucks. I think that was a test run for the 3 armored trucks. And the niggas probably saying, hey, man, how y'all getting this money? We going to pull y'all in because y'all some of the good guys. So come on in, man. We robbing armored trucks, man. We did those 2 trucks today, man. Next month, we going to do it again. But I got a feeling somebody either work downtown or where the Brink's trucks be at, or at the stores even. They telling them, hey, man, they filling out these ATMs on this day at these times. I ain't gonna be there this day, so go run up in that motherfucker. Take the ATM. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they talking to motherfuckers in the stores. Who knows, man? Maybe they just stalking particular stores until they find out what time that the Brink's trucks is out there and go be at the stores, man. I don't know, man. Maybe they got it inside motherfucking, man, like I said before. But I find it odd that they said all 3 of these drivers was alone, man. Why is y'all carrying $400,000, putting people's lives in danger for one motherfucking driver to be riding around, man? Somebody's supposed to be looking and saying, hey, look like those guys following us, or let me lock the door. But maybe that'll make the situation worse, and they feel like, hey, just go ahead and take the money, don't kill nobody. But I doubt that, because big corporations don't give a shit about the little man. But y'all know what this remind me of? This remind me of that 800 Fatz situation, man. Remember he killed his cousin and his homeboy after they tried to rob an armored truck and ended up failing? So what they do, they ran over and robbed like a Boost Mobile store or something like that. Let me remind y'all real quick.
November 16th, 2021, at 9:30 a.m., 2 members of the gang Face World 079, named Dewey and Spook, walked up to a man raking leaves and demanded his car keys at gunpoint, and the 2 assailants took off in his car. Around 10:20 a.m., as 3 armored car guards were loading an ATM at the Bank of America at 83rd Street and Princeton Avenue, Dewey and Spook were joined by Fatz and another member of 800 named Little Twan, and they drove to the bank together in the stolen car. Fatz, Twan, and one of the other accomplices got out of the car, 2 of them wielding handguns, the 3rd with a long rifle. They were dressed in black and wearing masks when they then approached the guards and demanded the cash. They then shot 2 of the security guards. One of the guards, LaShonda Hartz, age 47, was shot 6 times, and another, a 46-year-old man, was shot twice. Both were taken to the University of Chicago Medical Center, where Hartz died, and her partner was left in critical condition with gunshots to the lower extremities. The 3rd security guard was not struck and was able to return fire, but did not strike the assailants. Fatz and his crew were unable to get the cash container from the guards during the attack and fled the scene in the stolen Lincoln. They would then drive to a Boost Mobile store. Once at the store, Little Twan got out of the car, walked up to the counter inside the Boost Mobile, and pulled out 2 handguns, pointing them at an employee, a customer, and announced a robbery. The customer screamed and got on the floor, while the clerk opened the cash register and Twan stole the cash inside before also grabbing several bags of cell phones and fleeing the scene. After robbing the store, Fatz and Twan would backstab their own crew. Around 11:30 a.m., a witness heard gunfire and saw the car crash into a tree near 87th and Saginaw. The witness then saw Fatz and Twan get out of the car and run inside a nearby home. While inside the home, a witness saw Fatz, Twan, and other individuals passing around a duffel bag containing a rifle and talking about hiding their guns. Fatz later told one of the people inside the home to call the police and tell them someone had been shot and killed in a car outside the house. Upon arriving at the scene, officers found the driver and a front seat passenger in the car had both been shot dead. They were pronounced dead shortly afterward, and numerous boxes of cell phones from the Boost Mobile store that had been robbed were found both inside and outside the car. The 2 men that were shot and killed were Dewey and Spook, and it was revealed that Fatz and Twan killed them after they got into an altercation, presumably over the split of the money. The crazy thing about it is that Dewey was Fatz's cousin. Shortly after this, Fatz and Twan were arrested and charged with these murders. Fatz is currently in jail and is charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder, 2 counts of attempted murder, 2 counts of armed robbery, and 1 count of attempted armed robbery. If convicted, he will likely be facing life in prison. He is even being accused of getting beat up in jail and snitching on little Twan.
All right, man, so that's the downside of this shit right here. If you're working with a team, you know what I'm saying? That's why what I said about the earlier people, you might not understand what I was coming from. It seemed like a team, and as long as everybody got each other back and you know you're going to get bonded out, it's cool. But as soon as one of those armored heists fail, this is what happened. You got cousins killing cousins. That shit just don't add up to me. I don't like it, but it is what it is, man. And this shit was shocking. I want to say rest in peace to that woman that was shot and killed, man. 47 years old, just doing her job. Probably thought she can reason with these hooligans, man, but she wasn't able to reason with these hooligans. No, lady, let them have that money. Because guess what? Brinks is still going on as a business. And your family is missing you. You only was 47 years old. Your partner, he ended up catching 2 slugs. Thank God the third one, ain't nothing happened to him, but I know he glad he ain't the first one or the second one. But after they killed their family members, man, they had a hell of a fucking witness, man. So what I'm thinking is the witness was part of the crew because it was a gang of niggas robbing trucks. He was gonna tell anyway. Because I just find it funny, they know every little detail after the murder happened. So they gotta probably be narrowing it down to who it is in their crew that's telling. That person might already be dead because that happened a while back. But the saddest part about that situation, y'all, is the fact that they say 800 Fest got his ass whooped in jail, and then he turned on this homie that he actually killed his cousin with, man. That shit crazy, man. Maybe he gonna say, hey, he tougher than me. I was scared for my life. I don't know, man. But tell me how y'all feel about this situation in the comment section. Chicago and other big cities are seeing a rise in armored truck robberies. These niggas might be taking a page out of Bandman Kevo's book, because when you rob like a truck like that, you probably ain't gonna get as much time as robbing a person, shit. Or you might get the same amount of time and you rob somebody for $200 and you got a chance of getting $400,000. But don't have a team that's gonna bund you out and continue to rob sprees, because guess what? We know that it's worth it. I'll be back later, more news and commentary. Your homeboy Low from the Go. Peace.
I apply the pressure. I apply the pressure. I apply the pressure. Yeah, pressure. I apply the pressure.